up, world? First of all, I want to give big props to Kev Mac videos for contributing to solutions out here by representing the real ones that contributed to this culture that we call West Coast. So with that being said, big ups to Kev Mac videos, my comrade, my brother, my soldier to soldier. My name Edward Powell. I have several nicknames, but back in those days, I was known as Cool Chillz. You know, that was my lyricist name, my hip hop name, my b-boy name, my West Coast hip hop name. And I put it with a Z at the end instead of an S to differentiate me from anybody else that would come up with that kind of moniker or handle.
For the dime moves and the lokes, for the 6-4s on spokes, for the OGs that did a dime, came back around on parole, for the homegirls with the scrap game, little homies that gang bang, from Pelican Bay to YA, rearrange your mind frame. Yeah, I know what you've been through, shit you had to go get to. Your mama gave birth on the turf, I know them killers you kin to. This for the lost generation, broke as hell, mad and impatient. But if you know your history, you can't have a strong foundation, baby.
Was on score and start calling me Big Knee.
Shakur from Eastside, Bloodstone, Getting by City. Also known as Shady Eyes is my hood name.
Man, the kid that got to be put on problem, man. Nigga, do you. I created Corner Pocket in my mother's garage.
They call me Tiny Ant from Rolling 60, but yet known as Tylo Tiny Ant.
Start hanging out, start messing with the Bloods, and then I turned to Bloodstone villain.
When did you first start writing?
Man, when I first started writing, man, my story is interesting in the sense that I was very nomadic growing up. I was born on the east side over there in Compton. And once I got kicked out the school district, I started meeting other cats from different cities, LA, Watts, Linwood, Long Beach. And so I started noticing that, besides writing, because I'm a writer by nature, I love to write. And one of the things I like to do when I'm writing my lyrics, I'm always striking up. So people were like, damn, you just can't stop writing. So I ran into some LA cats, man, who I befriended and I started hanging out with, and they used to strike up. We used to call them strikes back then. It really wasn't the word tag came in later on in the game, but we used to call it strike. Man, let's go strike up. So we used to go out all late at night striking up and stuff like that, better known as tagging. So I would say around 84, 85, probably 85, 86, somewhere around there.
What high school did you go to?
I went to 9 high schools. I went to Dorsey, Crenshaw, LA High. I went to Inglewood High for a week. Went to, and I got bused from LA to Pasadena. So I ended up going to John Muir, Pasadena, and Blair. And then Central High was where I graduated from.
Well, where'd you grow up at?
I grew up born and raised in Compton, California.
Didn't you live over in City Stone Hood at one point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what was it like going through different neighborhoods, hitting up on walls and shit, knowing it's hostile territory?
To be honest with you, motherfucker had to really, really have a big pair of balls based on the fact, especially once motherfuckers found out where you was from. And some cats was like, okay, that's whoopty-whoop, but they respect me as this entertainment figure, you know what I mean? So even though I was in hostile territories and I did have to fight and all this shit, but a motherfucker was about his balls and his words. So, you can see I got teeth print all over my knuckles from fighting growing up. Me and my guys, man, we was on one back in the day.
How you spell Cool Chillz?
COOLCHILLZ.
And where you used to hit up at?
Man, when I say everywhere, I'm talking about everywhere. No respect for nobody's property. I rode on homie's mama's property. I used to ride all the niggas' funeral. I didn't give a fuck. It was something wrong with me, man. I was possessed by a demon. I remember, like I said, I went to 9 high schools. So imagine me taking markers and spray paint all around those cities. I had to write on something, man.
Tell me about the RTDs, man. Walk us through the whole RTD scenario.
So back then, by the time the RTD became like our biggest target, by then everybody was an established figure in their prospective communities, in their prospective army. So at the end of the day, I said, well, if I'm gonna do this shit, I want to be the best. That's my mentality. If I'm gonna do something, I gotta be the best at it. So me and my cats, man, we used to compete against each other, and I wasn't like an artist. So I was like, well, what the fuck am I doing? I love this shit, but I'm not an artist. So I used to say, fuck it. I'm going to take the motherfucking RTD and let that be my canvas. So I used to write all over the fucking inside of the RTD, on the fucking front window, the back window. But the best part about that era was writing on the driver's side window, from the front of the bus to the back of the bus. That was the shit. And once we started that trend, because we started a lot of trends. And so once we started that trend, everybody had to step their game up or bow down to what we were doing.
For the youngsters and the people out of town, explain what the RTD is.
The RTD was the rough, tough, and dangerous, better known as the Rapid Transit District. The RTD was the name of the bus in our generation. Y'all call it the Metro right now. It was the RTD for us.
So that was basically LA's version of New York subway.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You was one of those ones that would hit up broad daylight, bus driver looking at you,
police right there,
across the street.
Man, we had spray paint burners on us
all the time. Hey, and
damn.
Give me some of the names of the guys that was already tagging when you started tagging.
Oh man, I had COA. COA was Creators of Art. My boy View, Case,
Profile.
My boy Profile. Yup. Profile. He was one of my inspirations,
Star.
man. Star. You know what I'm saying? You had Smudge, you had Nero, you had Tron, Soon One was up. Then Graffiti Royalty, or B-Boy, West Coast Royalty in itself was West Coast artists. You had Design, Pony Boy, you had White Boy Whisk. You know what I mean? They brought a lot of flavor to the table in terms of artwork, artistry. I wasn't an artist, so I was really a vandal. I didn't know how to...
Oh, I'm sorry. Keep going.
Oh, I didn't know how to, draw or nothing. I just know how to strike up. That was it.
So you say Soon One. Was he one of the first ones you seen hit up in L.A.?
Yeah.
As far as tagging goes?
Yeah, he was up. But Soon and them, they were up in their prospective jurisdictions, right? We didn't have... See, that's one thing about our crew. We challenged it. We challenged those limits. We challenged the margins. We went every motherfucking where.
And how'd you get there?
We either walked, the bus, we either drove. You know what I mean? Me and KMC, man, we used to drive to certain areas. I'm talking about, man, it was times we was wanted by, shit, man. I remember one time we had a duck in the motherfucking trash can. We just hit the whole motherfucking Washington, Bennett, all that shit up, man, and motherfuckers called the police on us. Niggas had burners on them and shit. Niggas had to leave their car, But see, it all depend on who you were with, too. If we were by ourselves, we still got up. But when you was with your crimey, shit.
So you guys integrated with the white boys back then?
Yeah. Yeah, you can say that.
Who were some of the white boys you remember?
Shit, man. Risky. Minor one, yup. and risky. Yeah, on my mama.
What about
Part of the culture.
what about when throw-ups came in? Who were some of the guys with a lot of throw-ups that you remember?
Shit, man. As far as the throw-ups, the motherfuckers. Shit, all the people names I just mentioned.
You gotta go with whiskey.
You know, if motherfucker don't say whiskey, he in trouble. You know, you getting DP'd if you don't say whiskey. But at the same time, let me just say this. The ones that had artwork under their belt, the ones I'm talking about, man, they can come out here right now, sit at this table next to me and draw this whole landscape. You know what I mean? These are the people who draw portraits. People that were just naturally gifted, man. And
What about Mark 7?
Mark 7 was up.
Did you know Legit?
Legit was up there too. These are legends.
What about I think his name was Mad,
Mad.
Triad,
Mad was the one I was talking about.
Orion,
Yeah.
Race.
Wee.
Uh,
I'm telling you right now, the names he just mentioned from the beginning to just now. If you didn't know these people, you wasn't in the culture. Because these people were not only connected to their respective art squads, they was connected to the West Coast culture in itself. So all these names are basically icons in West Coast culture by way of graffiti and by way of just the culture itself.
was some of these guys gang members or not?
Hell yeah.
A lot of them.
Hell yeah.
And
Hell
they
yeah.
claim gangs where they lived at.
Hell yeah.
So when does this tag banging come into play?
So tagging, if you ask me about tagging, right, and the way tagging comes in, some of them were like real artists, and they didn't bang, and that's cool. You know, that was their choice, that was their decision. They was meant to be artists, but you had a lot of cats, man, from different armies, man, and they were from their armies. And the tagging part probably came in the sense that we all have an alter ego, right? Like my alter ego, I was a rapper, but I got dragged into the tagging thing because I liked it. Hanging with who I was hanging with. These niggas wrote on every motherfucking thing. And I liked it. But some of them were real life gang members. Like you say, I used to go and we would strike up and most motherfuckers knew where you was from anyway. But it was the gang culture was kind of different back then too. It was kind of different back then.
Was getting up like a competition to you back then?
Yeah, most definitely. That was definitely a competition.
So what was the point of getting up?
The point of getting up was to have that notoriety within your artistic and cultural community. You know what I mean? Getting up meant, you know, you had some cats who were just up, but they wasn't up. It was like to be in that elite group, that elite pantheon of West Coast gods, man. You know, motherfucker wanted to be a god back then. And everywhere I went, the police knew who I was, laughing at a motherfucker. The military came to arrest me. I'm fucking everybody and mama based on a name just from being on the wall. I said, damn, this shit is getting me perks. But like you say, that tagging was blended in with the street culture in general. So you was already a ghetto star, but the tagging element, just to know that motherfucker said, nigga, I was seeing your name way in such and such city. Nigga, god damn. You know. And so it felt good to see one of your comrades in that movement tagged up somewhere, because that represented, you know, one of your fellow comrades, man, who was about his grits, you know.